I know a lot of times when you're doing big goals like this, that there's a lot of metaphors for life that you can learn. There's a lot of things you could probably pull from the intensity of cycling that would apply to your life. What is it that you enjoy most about it, and what has it taught you about yourself?
Yeah. Well, interesting, interesting question. The metaphors in cycling, I would say, you have ups and downs, right? You have in cycling, the ups are different, kind of maybe the reverse experience from the ups in business, right? But let's say you have a hill in front of you or a mountain to climb, and it's hard to get up there, right? And it may take you an hour. I remember riding up Mount Evans in the Rockies. It took me 3 hours to go all the way up to 14,000 some feet. And it got really cold on the top. It was 67 Fahrenheit in the bottom. It was 28 on top. And it was a difference of 7,000 feet that I climbed in those 3 hours. So it was really hard. And I knew it would be hard. I didn't know how cold it would get and how tired I would get after like 2 hours. And I still had another hour to go, and it got more windy and more cold. But you have to be focused. You have to have the eye on the prize. And yes, it would have been easier to turn around, but I wanted to see that. I wanted to see the summit. And it was an amazing feeling to see the summit and to kind of try to put on my gloves and my windbreaker jacket, because I could hardly move. It was so cold. But then it was a 1 hour downhill, and that's you enjoy basically the fruits of your labor, and all that hard climbing basically became a fun ride downhill. And so the metaphor for me is, you have certain goals. It's painful to get there. It's not a walk in the park. If it was easy, everybody else would already have done it. So a lot of things that we're doing is hard. It's much easier if you have a team to do that. And in cycling, the concept of drafting becomes really, really critical, especially the faster you go. And that's the benefit of having a team where everybody can pull. And when you are in the draft, it's so much easier. So I think learning from one another and leveraging the individual strengths of each other, having a diverse team where you have people with different strengths that you can cover different bases, and that at the end of the day you can rely on one another. That's really, really critical. That's so much easier to make it up to the summit. And then once you get there, there's always a little bit of a celebration. And as I said, right, it took me 3 hours to get up there. It took me 1 hour joy of going down. Typically, the celebrations, the party is not as long as as it took you to get there. But it's my metaphor, right? So things are hard, but there is once you get there is a lot of satisfaction from the achievement. And I always tell my team to reserve a few minutes at the end of the week and then reflect on what you did in the week. What are the things you could have done better, right? What are the learnings from failures that we can apply next week? But also, what are the things that really went well? And we're in such a fast-paced environment. Oftentimes, we don't even have the time to celebrate, but make mini celebrations for yourself and really share with the rest of the organization. Hey, we just accomplished this, and there's so much to be proud of. And I really encourage anyone to take a few minutes every week, every Friday afternoon, before you shut down, to say, hey, how did the week go? What went well and what did not go so well, and celebrate the wins.
Yeah, that's great. It's kind of like getting the reps in too, because it's also bringing to mind, you're not going to get up that mountain the first time you try it. Maybe the first time you try it, but you that wasn't the first time you rode. It's like you need to I think a lot of people maybe need to understand that it's not, nothing good is supposed to happen tomorrow, like by tomorrow, like when we start. Like it's a process, you know, getting to where you could actually get up that mountain in 3.5 hours. It probably took you maybe years of training.
Yes.
I mean, how, you know, I mean, if you didn't have years of training, you wouldn't even have been able to get up that mountain at all.
Exactly.
Probably.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And without the proper tools, you know, you probably had to have the right bike. You had to have the years of training. And it's so just, it's more of the long game. It's kind of having that longer term goal, and then making all your little daily and weekly reflections. You know, make sure you do what you got to do that week, but then reflect back on it. And all those little steps like build on each other. And that makes it to where you could do great things. So awesome. Well, thank you so much, Uli. This has been a fun talk, and I really appreciate it.
No, this was fun. Thank you for having me, David.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there any final thoughts you have that we didn't kind of hit on, or?
No, I think we talked about a lot of things, and I take, you know, for me, the wins are when I talk to our customers, and you know, they do have things that they would like to see differently, and they have ideas, and we cannot always meet their wish lists and so on and so forth. But in the grand scheme of things, when I talk to them, I hear so many positive things, and the areas that we have helped them with, and making them a more successful organization, a more competitive organization, is just you know, it really makes my day every time I talk to customers, and I really want to thank the entire Xeeva team for making this possible every day. And you know, you guys get up and train for the mountain climb, and we're in this together, and it's really, for me, a great experience, and I really appreciate being here with all of them.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's definitely, there's a big fulfilling aspect of a company when you see how you're actually helping other companies. I mean, being able to actually help in a strategic and specific way gives that sense of fulfillment, and working together as a team. It really is a great team here at Xeeva, and everybody works real hard. So awesome. Well, thank you so much, Uli. This was great.
All right, David. Thanks a lot.